A cult classic is getting a pulse-pounding makeover as Glen Powell and Edgar Wright unveil the first look at their highly anticipated reimagining of The Running Man. With Powell stepping into the lead role and Wright behind the camera, fans are finally getting a taste of how the duo plans to retool the iconic dystopian thriller for a new generation. And the results look anything but predictable. Originally a 1982 novel by Stephen King, written under the pseudonym Richard Bachman, The Running Man was famously adapted into a 1987 film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. That version, known for its campy tone and brutal action, developed a strong cult following despite deviating heavily from King's original story. Now, nearly 4 decades later, Wright and Powell are promising a version more faithful to the novel's grittier, more cerebral roots. And the first glimpses suggest a high-stakes, high-concept thriller with sharp social commentary and a modern aesthetic. In the newly released stills and teaser material, Powell appears rugged, intense, and far more stripped down than Schwarzenegger's hyper-muscular portrayal. Gone are the flamboyant costumes and over-the-top villains. In their place, a bleak, near-future world where surveillance, corporate control, and public spectacle collide with raw human desperation. Powell, fresh off his breakout performances in Top Gun, Maverick, and Anyone But You, says taking on the role was a bucket list opportunity. This is one of those rare projects where you get to reinvent something legendary, but you also get to dig deeper into the original material. Powell said in a recent interview, "What King wrote was way more psychological and emotional than people remember. We wanted to bring that to life." The story centers on Ben Richards, a man desperate to provide for his family in a dystopian future ravaged by poverty and media manipulation. In a last-ditch effort to earn money, Richards volunteers for The Running Man, a government-sanctioned reality show where contestants are hunted by professional killers, and the entire nation watches it unfold like sport. Wright, best known for films like Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, brings a kinetic, stylized vision to the project, but with a sharper, darker tone. "This isn't a remake, it's a re-adaptation," Wright said. "We went back to the source material and asked ourselves, what does this story mean now in 2025? What does it say about surveillance culture, influencer fame, algorithm-driven media, and economic inequality?" The first look gives a strong sense of that vision. Neon-lit cityscapes cloaked in smog, tense chases through crumbling infrastructure, and Powell's character seemingly pushed to the brink, both physically and morally. The images hint at a stripped-down aesthetic, more Children of Men than The Hunger Games, with gritty handheld camera work and tactile production design replacing flashy CGI. Also teased are glimpses of the so-called hunters, the state-sponsored assassins tasked with taking down the contestants. Rather than cartoonish gladiators, Wright's version appears to present them as shadowy government agents, faceless and methodical. One cryptic frame shows Powell evading a drone swarm, while another captures him broadcasting a message to a hidden underground audience, suggesting that rebellion and resistance may play a larger role in this adaptation. The cast surrounding Powell is still being revealed, but insiders report that several major names are attached in undisclosed roles, including a potential antagonist played by a top-tier A-lister. The film is being produced by Paramount Pictures, with Wright and Powell also serving as executive producers, a collaboration that both men described as creative soulmates from day one. The buzz surrounding The Running Man reboot has been building steadily since it was first announced in 2021, with fans of both King and Wright eager to see how the vision will unfold. With the release of these first images and details, anticipation is hitting a fever pitch. For Powell, the project marks a turning point in his career, shifting from charming leading man to gritty action star. "I've never pushed myself harder," he admitted. "Emotionally, physically, Ben Richards goes through hell, and I wanted to make sure every step of that felt real." Though no official release date has been announced, The Running Man is expected to hit theaters in late 2025 or early 2026. Until then, fans will be dissecting every frame of the first look and speculating how this new take will challenge both memory and expectation. Wright summed it up best: "It's not about nostalgia. It's about relevance." The Running Man was prophetic in 1982. In many ways, it's even more terrifyingly accurate today.